Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Iconic Dollcast. My name is Sage, your host. Welcome back to another episode all about dolls. Thank you so much for listening. Today, I am speaking with Tiffany, and Tiffany is a big Barbie collector and a big Barbie fan, and this one is sort of from the vaults. I must have mentioned it at some point, but early in the summer, I accidentally saved a few interviews onto an external hard drive by accident, and I had no idea where they went, but one day they were all just gone. And it took me months to realize where they ended up. The good news is I did end up finding them, thank God. But just so you know, this chat was recorded months and months ago. As we all know, doll news is always moving and changing. So some of this might be a little bit dated, but I had such a great time chatting with Tiffany. I definitely wanted to put it out. She was so kind and sweet, and just, I'm always talking about genuine doll collecting here on the Iconic Dollcast, and Tiffany for sure is a total real one. She was so great. We are going to get into it right now. As always, please follow me on Instagram at Iconic Dollcast or Britney Spears Custom Dolls. You can follow me on TikTok at Britney Spears Dolls. Please, if you guys haven't yet, go check out my YouTube channel at Iconic Dollcast. Please follow, subscribe, comment, like. I'm really trying to kick things off over there, and it's been so much fun. But let's get into my chat right now. Here is my interview with Miss Tiffany all about Barbie. All right, guys, today I am joined by Tiffany, and Tiffany is a doll collector who has some really brilliant content. You can check that out over on Instagram at Off the Doll Shelf. Tiffany, thanks so much for being on the show. How's it going?
Good. I'm so excited to do this. I love your show.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. I love dolls. I love that people are into this. So I'm so excited too. So you're coming to us from California, right?
Yes, I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh, beautiful. My aunt lives there.
Oh,
Very
really?
nice. Yes.
It's beautiful up here. It's hot though. Like I'm originally from Canada and Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
So at first I really loved the weather, but now it's too much.
Too much. I love the summer. I don't know why though, because every time I get in my car, I'm like, oh my God, I hate my life. It's 95 degrees in here. Exactly. But then I'm like, I'd rather have it be hot than snowing. So it is what
True.
It is.
True
so
story.
Before we get into dolls, tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, what's been going on, all that fun stuff.
Well, I'm an artist and a former photographer, and I've been loving Barbie since basically before I could walk. And I just think I am a doll lover at heart because I collect all kinds of dolls besides Barbie. And I'm just like a Barbie enthusiast, and I don't think that's ever going to end for me.
It probably won't.
No.
Okay, that's great. So outside of, I think a lot of my questions today are about Barbie, but I too, obviously love Barbie, but I get into a lot of other things too. So tell me what other dolls you collect.
Oh my gosh. So anything from antique to modern. I collect horror dolls as well. And yeah, my antique dolls start at maybe the late 1800s-ish.
Wow.
And I have a really strange Mattel doll from I think the 50s or 60s where you pull a string and she talks.
Mm-hmm.
But she sounds like she's underwater, the poor thing, and her eyes roll around. So any kind of misfit doll I'm into that needs a home, I'm the mother.
I love that. And so tell me what dolls mean to you.
Oh my gosh. Because I collect so many different kinds and I've been a doll lover since I was so little. I always had a doll with me no matter what. And I just feel now that I've grown up and look back and I still have dolls in my life, I feel like they're just such a part of history through cultures around the world from way back when all kinds of dolls are made out of stone, out of wood, So I just feel like dolls are just such a huge impact on humanity,
Of course.
And, what dolls mean to me, it's just storytelling, it's history, it's creativity, it's imagination, it's just endless.
Absolutely. I just also think it's comfort, right? Feel like I too, when I was a kid, even still today, yesterday I was hanging out with my friends for the 4th of July. Obviously we were not celebrating America. We were celebrating having the day off, but I was like, well, which doll am I going to bring to this occasion? I don't care. And it's just like a comfort thing. And like you said, yeah, just dolls are like, I ask everyone this question, and almost everyone says kind of the same thing, which is great because it's like, yes, like dolls bring so much to people's worlds that a lot of people who
Hmm.
maybe don't collect dolls don't understand. And
Right.
it's like, I mean, everything from imagination, creativity, comfort, just anything you can think of. And I love doing this show because it just confirms that for me, you know,
100%.
because it's what
Yeah.
everyone says. So what was the first doll you ever had?
That one's tough because as soon as I was born, my mom started a doll collection. And she loves to tell the story how she fought other moms for the Cabbage Patch doll that she got me.
Brilliant.
Apparently, all the moms were throwing elbows.
They
And,
were.
I still have it, because she put the work in for that doll. I've always had Barbies too. She started buying me Barbies right away. So, from my own memory, I remember getting a Golden Dreams Barbie when I was
Mm,
3. And when I was 5, I brought it was called My First Barbie, and she
hmm
had a little ballerina outfit on. And I brought her to kindergarten for show and tell. And I was so excited because I wanted to show them all her little ballerina shoes. So even back then, miniature things I just love. But those are the ones that I remember the most for sure.
I love that you just brought that up. I have a distinct memory of show and tell. I must have been in kindergarten too, maybe first grade, and I brought in my Esmeralda doll from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and
Ooh.
I just remember like showing because I'm pretty sure she had like a stand you could stand her on, and she would like twirl or something.
Oh,
I don't even
fancy.
know. It's just a fun memory. Bringing dolls to school, I always did. Always had one in my
Oh, yeah.
backpack, especially like when the Spice Girls were
Oh,
in
God, of
there. I mean,
course.
they'll always be the moment, but
Yeah.
when their dolls were coming out, all me and my friends, we'd all bring our Spice Girl. It was like, which one are you bringing tomorrow? So many fun memories. And when we're getting to like, dolls obviously mean a lot to us. So what does Barbie mean to you? Because I know you do a
Oh,
lot with Barbie.
yeah. Oh my God. Like she just seems like she's an entity that has been with a lot of us from childhood.
Yeah.
She's been a lifelong buddy and she's changed alongside us. She's never been the same. And it's so hard to say what Barbie means to me because, again, when I was a little kid, she was my number one gal, and now I'm 43. She's still my number one gal, and she's come so far from being played with for me in the 80s, and when I was a kid, it was a lot of storytelling because I was around my mom and grandmother a lot. They watched a lot of soap operas. So I put a lot of that into my dolls. There's a lot of drama. And I did a lot of storytelling with that. And then now that I'm older, I don't really do that anymore. But now I kind of implement my personal style into them because I love to style Barbie so much. So she just, I don't know. I can't put into words what she means to me. All I can say is that I feel like she's just an entity that's always going to be there and she's going to continue to change alongside me.
Of course. And it's not, I think sometimes it's like, how do you say Barbie is everything to me, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, maybe she's not, but like she sort of is, right? And
Hmm.
like, I get into all sorts of Barbies and dolls and whatever, and it just is everything. And I do feel, and I say this all the time, like, I think without Barbie, I mean, I don't know a life without her, to
Me
be honest.
neither.
Like
Yeah.
my earliest memories in life are getting my first Barbie and having Barbies and doing all that stuff. And now I run a business off of these Britney dolls, and it's like awesome. There's just dolls. It's everything. It is everything to me. So I think when you say that to someone who's not us,
Yeah.
or people listening, they're kind of like, "What do you mean?" And it's like I can't really. That's
You
it.
can't. No,
She's
no.
everything.
Yeah.
I wrote a question mark by this. When it comes to customizing, do you get into customizing dolls? And like, because I've looked at all your stuff on Instagram, and it looks, I mean, you're putting stuff together. Like
Right.
you're creating these beautiful photos of Barbie. So when it comes to customizing, like what do you get into with that?
So that all started in February or March of 2018. And I just happened to see a random video of somebody doing a face up, is what they called it. And I can't remember if it was on a Barbie or a different kind of doll. And I was like, oh, okay, I want to try this. And I didn't want to fully erase Barbie herself, the whole Mattel look. So I just kind of worked around it where it's like, I want her to look a little different so that she's unique to me, but still looks like a Mattel Barbie. So I did that one time because I wanted it to look like me, because I've never had a doll that looked like me. And I know a lot of people are into that. So I did it and it felt very meditative. And because I have an anxiety disorder, so when I was doing it, it was very meditative. I have to keep my nerves calm because it's very tiny little details.
Right.
And I just learned how to do it through the internet. And then I got into rerouting and I hate it.
Me too.
I hate it. But I love, doing makeovers on them as if they're little people. Like I watch a lot of America's Next Top Model growing up, and makeovers
Me
were the
too.
best episodes ever. So I
And the
love
ghosties.
that.
And the ghosties.
Oh, yes. Drama. But I love to give little makeovers. And then that got me into the styling part because I'm like, okay, they look modern and great, but the Mattel clothes aren't really hitting it. So I started to look up, people who were making clothes on Etsy and stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, this is like a whole world that I didn't know existed. I'm just collecting quietly by myself. I didn't know that there is a huge community out there having fun doing all this stuff, and I got into customizing and just, tweaking here and there and then adding the clothes. And I just became in this whole new world. And I went online and I found everybody on Instagram. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And from there, I just kept getting into styling and customizing. And it became like my thing for the longest time. So Barbie just leads you in odd directions.
She'll take you places you never thought you could go before. And I love so much about what you just said. So, first of all, I love the fact that you are so honest and open about the whole repainting thing where it's like you don't want to take away from
Right.
Barbie, right? Because I mean, she's Barbie, but you can still do little tweaks and
Yeah.
fun things to either make her look like you or just change her face up, give her a little bit more drama. And
Yeah.
a lot of the times people ask me when I make my Britney dolls why I don't repaint the face. And that is like you nailed it. So the deal
Yeah.
is like I think people who fully repaint Barbies are so incredibly talented and
Oh my
it's
God, yes.
just like wow. But for me, as a personal preference, I always tell people, well, I just think the Britney Spears doll is so incredibly well done, and I would never want to take
I agree.
away from the artists that created her. I also like kind of love it, especially with celebrity dolls when they do have a little bit of a cartoonish look to them
Yeah, yeah.
because it doesn't get too real where you like whereas some of the I mean you can look at some people's repaints and it's like this is Britney Spears. Like
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
what? That's a doll? Actually I would say not so much with Britney Spears. I think Britney Spears has such a like plain face in the best way possible that it's like kind of hard to repaint her so far of what I've seen
I think
just
she's
because
very dolly already, I feel.
very. She looks like a doll. And that's why
Yeah.
I think her doll worked out so well. But I mean,
Agreed.
I've seen people do like Madonna and it's like that
Yeah.
that is
Rihanna.
yeah, literally them. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I love that because I just and sometimes I'll add a little eyeliner, a little,
Exactly.
whatever, and it just does what it needs to do. I also love what you talked about you didn't know there was a whole world out there
No.
of people just like you, and neither did I.
Yeah.
I started my Instagram for the Britney dolls and was like, okay, I
When
guess
did you
I'll
start?
literally January 2018.
Oh,
Yep.
magic year for
I
us.
know. Great year. And I did it. And I was like, I guess I'll just do it because my friend was like, you have to. And instantly, like, started just like you was like, what? I
Yeah.
had no clue that there were
Hmm.
people out there, even Barbie collectors, doll collectors, like Britney Spears fans, all this stuff. I was like, I feel like I found my people.
Right?
And this is so weird for me. Like, these are all people I don't actually know, but like I'm
Yep.
having great conversations with them. And eventually it has led into this podcast, which is kind of the same thing, right? But it's like I
Yeah.
had no idea that there were so many people just making art out of Barbie and dolls
No.
and just being able to learn so much on the internet has been I mean
Hmm.
you do not have to go to school for this.
That's
You
right.
can teach yourself and it's pretty fantastic and I feel like the doll community is just it's a great place to be.
Because I feel it's because we all have so much passion for the dolls and in different ways. Like some people don't
Yes.
customize or style at all, but there's still such a passion for Barbie.
Yeah, and like what's so when speaking about Barbie, what's so cool is, I mean, you've got hundreds of thousands of people on Instagram doing kind of the same thing, right? But like when people are able to take that same thing and make it their own, it's just
Yeah.
like incredible because
Yeah.
no one is the same. Even though, you could find like 15 different photographs of totally hair Barbie and they all have their own unique look to
And
them,
I
which
love that.
I
I
think it's
love
so
that.
cool. It is for like as like a it's a learning process, right? Learning how to
Hmm.
work on dolls and do things. Like what has that been like for you? Is there anything that's been super frustrating for you? We talked about rerouting.
Reroutes.
I mean, I have at this point rerouted over 1,000 Britney Spears dolls, and
Oh,
people are always like, God, it's so therapeutic. And I'm like,
no.
yeah, for the first like
No.
10. And obviously, like I'll always do it because rerouting really does make the difference, right?
100%.
And it's definitely worth it. But for me, it's just like, gunk, gunk,
Yep.
gunk, and I'm like, oh my God, can we get this done any faster? But
Yes.
I think one thing that, going back to my question, like rerouting was a big learning process for me. It used to take me days to get through one, and now I can do
Same.
them in like 50 minutes. It's like
Oh, not
very
me.
like, I just got to focus, right? So what are some like learning curves that you've come upon when like working on dolls or photographing dolls?
Well, it was a bit natural because I do have been doing art for a really long time. So it felt just easy for me at first, just with the pastels and, the paint on the face. It was the rerouting that really made me have to stop and figure it out. And I still haven't figured it out fully. I still add too much hair. So they always look a little wiggy and I got to start over again. But the learning curve for that has probably been the biggest challenge for me. But with the repaints, because again, I just kind of tweak and touch up and do little things here and there. That's super fun and super easy to do. But that rerouting, like I'll send my dolls out and have somebody else do it because I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Oh my
I can't.
gosh. I sometimes I've thought about it, but I'm just like, I'll just do it. What method are you using for rerouting? Just curious.
How to explain it? It's like an X-Acto knife, but the knife taken
Yep.
out, and
Hmm.
yeah, that one.
Okay.
That's what
Because
I've been
some
doing.
people do the knot method, which is even more
I
difficult. I've tried
No
it twice
way.
and I'm like, there's just no way I'm gonna do this.
No,
The other way works just fine.
I know myself, and there's no way in hell I'm even going to try. No.
No, and it's just like kind of gross. Like you have to be, I don't know, you have to be like I don't like it either. So I stick with that. And the hair thing is difficult too because also like
Yeah.
dolls' heads are made of different plastics and you never
Right.
know what you're gonna get. Like I will say Britney doll hair is so easy to her head is so squishy that it's just like
Oh.
incredibly easy to work on. But like some of the Spice Girls, their heads are rock hard, and it's like you have to sit with your hot water right next to you every 10 minutes. It gets a little stressful. And I will say, my house, myself, my dogs were always covered in doll hair. Always.
Yeah,
It
that's the
gets
other part.
everywhere. It
Yeah,
gets
that's the other part.
everywhere. When did you jump into like social media? You said
Yeah, it was March 2018 is when I started it.
okay, and
Yeah.
like what I mean, we just talked about obviously it was like, whoa, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But like what was your like reaction to people? I mean, you have great stuff. So like what was it like for
Thanks.
you to hear that?
Well, at first it was I would just take a picture of the doll, like either in my hand or sitting on my dining table. Like I didn't have any thought into it whatsoever. It was just, and I believe Instagram was pretty different back then as well. There wasn't a
Yeah.
lot of like, professional looking photography for dolls going on. So whatever you did was accepted and fine. And that's how everyone did it. And that's just what I did. And then less than a year, I started to bring in my photography. And because I'm like, if this is something I'm really getting into, let's have more fun with it, right? So I started to do that. And oh God, because I used to photograph models all the time when
Wow.
I did my photography. So now I'm like, oh, this is amazing because I don't got to wait on anybody. I don't have to hire anybody. I don't have to hire a whole team, just me and this little model. I get to set it up the way I want, and it was just like bringing me flashbacks from, my previous profession. And again, just like with the art and the face ups, it just felt natural to do. And I was like, my art and my photography in the past, is it just to lead me to this, because it's all just kind of working out here.
Right.
And I never told anybody this,
Ooh,
but I was actually, how long was it? I started in 2018, and then in February of 2020, I was actually contacted from Barbie Style for the job of the stylist.
wow.
And I was mind blown because I'm like, I'm just minding my business playing with Barbie. And what? Like, I didn't even know this was possible. Like, I thought you had to go to school for like fashion or something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, they gave me a call and they're just like, so walk me through, like, who are you? And walk me through what you do, how you make your pictures. So I told them all that. And they're like, that's exactly what we do here. So you might as well get paid for it. And I was like, mind blown. I'm like, literally, my hobby is someone's job. Like, are you kidding me? And they're like, it's literally what the job entails. And, it was so like out of left field and so humbling. And I was just like, me, I'm literally just in my room playing with dolls. Like, this can't be real. And they're like, we can't think of anybody else. And I was like, this isn't real. I'm like, no, there's so many of us. There's no way me. And unfortunately, lockdown happened within a couple of days of that conversation.
Ah,
Literally, because I was supposed to fly out there and talk, do all the things. And long story short, there's just lockdown, the pandemic, and then all these other roadblocks after another. And unfortunately, they're like, we can't wait anymore. We kind of have to find somebody. And I was like, it's okay, it's fine. So unfortunately, it didn't work out, but just to know that that opportunity could have, it's just such a wild thing to think. All I did was take a picture of a Barbie one day and it could have led to this dream
yeah.
job. You just never know where Barbie's going to take you.
You never know. And like what a
Yeah.
compliment too. Like you
I
know
know.
that you are good enough to be working
Yeah.
on literal Barbie.
I still don't feel that. Like, it still
That's
feels unreal.
that's quite impressive and I I believe it because I
Oh,
your
thank
stuff
you.
looks so good and that kind of leads me into my next question is like you do a lot of content so and you take great pictures the Barbies look fantastic like if someone let's say someone's just getting into this like what are your tips for them on like taking photos of Barbies or creating content with Barbies like what would if someone was like I don't know what to do what would you
Yeah.
say?
But just post consistently. And, I've had people say, like, I don't have good lighting. Pull her up next to a window.
Yep.
That's all, a flat surface and like a poster board
Yep.
and a
That's what
window.
I do.
Yeah, literally, that's it. A lot of my content is that. It's not my professional camera or my lighting, it's my iPhone and a window. And I think just by doing that and posting consistently and just enjoying it without anything hovering over you, like any kind of like, I don't know. It's good to have goals with it. I know a lot of people right now, want to go the influencer route with Barbie.
Hmm.
Um, when I started, like, I didn't even know that was a thing, So I feel like if you just stay in your own lane and do it out of the fun of it and out of the passion of it and just let go of all that Instagram stuff,
Yes.
and just feeling like you got to keep up with other people and having to have the dolls that everybody else has. Again, just stick to your own thing because I know there was a point when a lot of us kind of would buy dolls we wouldn't necessarily want, but because everybody else was getting it, you know? And I've been at fault of that. I've received it and I'm just like, why did I get her? Was it the FOMO? Was it the herd mentality? So that is something I would tell people as well is don't feel you have to get every single doll that comes out. If there's no such thing as social media, would you get that doll? You
Boom.
know? Yeah, would you get that doll? And I think that just keep posting as much as you want. And consistency is always a thing. Like, I'm not consistent. I haven't been in a long time just because Instagram has changed so much, but I feel that they do favor people who post like crazy. So just do it.
It is a weird world, and I think gosh, you're touching on so many good things. Great. So like, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, like you cave into pressure, right? When it comes to
Mm,
content creating, it's like, oh my God. And like you said, Instagram has changed.
yeah.
So, I mean, Instagram wants to be TikTok so bad. And like
Girl.
at the end of the day, it's like, well, you're not really doing anything but pissing people off because
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who runs a business account on Instagram and have have paid money to Instagram to help me help build my
Mm-hmm.
audience. That's not paid followers. That's not any of that.
Right.
It's like I pay them to sponsor my posts,
Yeah. Promote.
And as someone who, especially pandemic times, we all know like
Mm-hmm.
Instagram was popping, right? And then suddenly I think TikTok got really huge and things really took a nosedive on Instagram where it's like
Right.
my content has not changed. It is staying consistent. I think it's gotten a little bit better, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, but for some reason now Instagram doesn't like me and I don't
Yeah.
I don't get
Yep.
it. So I guess like where Instagram is kind of shooting themselves in the foot is people are transferring over to places like TikTok, which
That's right.
is something that took me a minute to, because I am just like so ADHD that I'm like, what? Four platforms? I cannot
Yeah, I
do
know.
that,
I
And it's like
know.
each one you have to curate your content so specifically because like
Right.
something that takes off on TikTok, not necessarily going to take off on Instagram.
That's
Very
right.
weird. So I think a lot of people cave to the pressure of that. And also like I do find that for me at least, I love to see just like less curated and more just organic and natural photos. Like
Yeah,
take
bring
a
it back.
take a picture of the Britney doll and like on the craft table where you were making her rather than doing like a big
Yeah.
setup. But like I said, everything has changed so much. And then when it comes to the pressures of wanting to be an influencer and all that stuff, I keep things pretty low key. I do not consider myself an influencer
Me
at
either.
all, just because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'm influencing people to just like care about dolls, I guess, but like I'm not like listen to me because I'm correct. You
Yeah.
know
I
what I
know it
mean?
all.
Um, and I mean, like you said, we've all fallen into that trap where it's like, did I really need this doll? But
Right.
everyone had her, and I've been more strict with myself. Unfortunately, a lot of the dolls coming out lately, I've really wanted.
Right. I
And I'm
know.
like, shit. I just spent
I
$300 on another American Girl doll. Great.
know.
But something we talk about, and I mean, if you've been listening lately to the show, like I talk about it a lot. And it's not something that's meant to be negative, but it's just something that has really come up in the doll collecting community. And that is the trendiness of dolls. And it's
Mm,
like, there's lots of amazing content creators out there who don't get a lot of attention, but then there's
yes.
some out there that do get a lot of attention, which I think is great. But sometimes you watch their content and it's just kind of like, I'm not really feeling the genuine connection. And this does feel like a
Right.
doll that this person just got so that they could get a bunch of Instagram and TikTok likes
Hmm.
and then they get rid of it. And it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point other than going into debt? Because I mean, I know a lot of us doll collectors, we talk about, well, dolls can be quite an investment.
Oh, yes.
If I was in a very, very financially hard time, I do have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Not that I'd ever want to do that. But when it comes to like new dolls coming out, a lot of that stuff is worthless. And
Oh, yeah.
it's very like hard to watch people with that. And I mean, as someone, you've loved Barbie and dolls your whole life,
Hmm.
obviously like we want it's great that now Barbie and doll collecting is trendy and people are more accepting about it and it's
Right.
not as like scary to be like, yeah, I have a Barbie room. um but it is hard to watch sometimes when you see someone on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube where it's like, I don't know if you really like this. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah. Because I
It's
feel like
tricky.
with the internet, with these social media, everyone kind of jumps on a trend and it doesn't last very long. Like I wonder how long these Labubus are going to be until we start seeing them in the Goodwill. Yeah.
August.
But yeah, it's hard to see somebody kind of jump into your world, but they don't really want to be there. They're just kind of, I don't know what it is, like their reasoning behind it. But I know Book Talk has an issue with that as well, where it's like these people aren't even reading the books, but
Okay,
they're
yeah. I
somehow
mean,
giving reviews and stuff,
how are you going to
and
do that?
yeah, it's just so odd. And, I just, like we said, Instagram has changed so much from being like this community of just expression and everyone having a great time. And then now it's just kind of veered off a little bit where things kind of I feel a lot of people don't even post as much as they used to. I don't know if it's because either they just don't have the time, because when we were in the pandemic, we all had the time. Um, but I feel like there has been such a change in that way with how much you share and what you share. And then on top of that, the feeling of I can't keep up. with these influencers and
Well, I
yeah.
think I think at the end of the day, people are posting less on Instagram because they are so concerned about how much traction it's going to get. And so it's like
That
maybe if
too.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
post
yeah.
as much, like whatever. And that's something I've really had to deal with. And it doesn't come down to like, oh, I'm not proud of my work. I'm not,
Right.
I am making Britney Spears dolls, multiple Britney Spears dolls every week, and
Wow.
sometimes I do, it's like, oh, am I going to post another Slave for You doll? I don't know.
Yes,
Like
please.
I've done so many of them, but it's like, I know Instagram has kind of taken steps to, you can hide your likes, and
Mm,
I've definitely taken some information in, and it's very like it's it's a good move on their part, but I think what people are into on Instagram and all that stuff, it's like the attention they get and the traction and whatever. So Instagram has taken steps to kind of help people feel a little less anxious about posting on Instagram,
right.
but at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I don't know that it's actually helping
No,
with
it
Instagram as a business.
yeah, because it can feel like you're posting to the void
Yeah.
because you feel like nobody's seeing your content anymore. And I've done the thing where Instagram is like, do X, Y, and Z. I did X, Y, and Z, and then they shadow banned me. So I'm like, what do you want? So it makes me not want to really post anymore because they're not showing my content to anybody anymore.
Exactly.
So I'll do it every now and then, but I'm definitely not as active as I used to be.
It's definitely a weird thing. I don't know, and when all this TikTok banning stuff was going down, who actually knows what's going to happen with that by this point, right?
Yeah.
But like I was like, okay, Instagram, this is your chance to like
Right?
step it up, whatever, especially for people like I mean, I'm sure you built your audience on Instagram
Hmm.
organically and I did
Yeah.
as well. And it's like, why didn't just make up these people following me? Like they came to me. I didn't,
Right.
I didn't seek them out. So why aren't you pushing this content to the people? And it's also like when I'm looking through Instagram, I'm like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
not the stuff that I
No,
I signed up for.
no.
It's
A lot
very
of it's not dolls.
it's very strange, but I do think like I just think circling back to the whole doll collecting thing and like the whole social media world of it all, there's a lot of pressure that you
Hmm.
can be put on you. And I think for Instagram to give out so much love to people and then just kind of like take it away has been a really
Yeah,
interesting but annoying thing to watch happen because it's like I also
100%.
see people who also have 40,000 followers on Instagram and I'm like, but only like 10 people looked at this? Like, this is bullshit.
Exactly.
Like, what's going
Hmm.
on? It's not them, it's
That's right.
Instagram, right?
That's right. And like a lot of us will put, so much time and effort into our content only for it to be seen by 10 people.
Yeah, it's
So it's
weird.
kind of like, well, then what's the point?
Exactly. So I don't know. I think Instagram really needs to pick it up before it becomes an obsolete app because
I
if
agree.
TikTok does stay around, like I do see people moving over there for good. And I
Oh,
always tell
yeah.
people like my biggest audience is on Instagram because I think most people are on Instagram are my age and between my age and
Yeah.
like 50, right?
Yeah.
And that age bracket hasn't really made the transfer over to TikTok yet. So
Right.
it'll be interesting. I just think Instagram keeps trying to do things to keep them on top, but they just keep
Yeah.
pushing themselves
It's
down
just not
further.
working.
It's
Yeah.
not. And it used to be a great place to just share your art.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now it's like, oh my God, I got to make another TikTok so I
Yeah.
can put it on Instagram. So weird. As an adult collector,
Hmm.
what is something people that are not in doll world, what is something that those kind of people don't understand about us as a doll collectors that you think?
I think a lot of people view dolls as strange to begin with and creepy.
Yeah.
Like even when I would buy my niece's dolls, the dads would be like, "Oh, they're so creepy. Oh, they're so strange." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Look at the artistry on this doll." And they're just like, "Whoa, like calm down." And I'm just like, "No, this is an incredible doll, right?" And I find like people on the outside, it's interesting because I feel like right now, especially with millennials, we're very nostalgic.
Yes.
And I feel more people are starting, like millennials are starting to kind of grab on to childhood and start buying toys from back in the day. And I think by doing that, even if it's not Barbies, it could be anything really, they're starting to understand the doll community, I think,
Yep.
of, I think for us, it really starts with the nostalgia and then it just follows through because Barbie grows with us. She's still around,
Right.
so it goes beyond nostalgia. But I feel that because of that uptick in buying anything, toys, VHS, even from the 80s and 90s, it's not viewed as weird to have a doll collection.
No.
I'm sure a lot of people do see it that way, but it's starting to be a little bit more accepting.
Trendy.
Yeah, and like, because people are showing off, look at all my Tamagotchis.
Yeah.
And look at all my this, look at all my that. And I know I follow this one guy that just is obsessed with The Simpsons, and
Amazing.
I love to see people's things, even if I'm not into it. I just know there's a passion there, and I feel because of this trend that's starting up, I'm hoping that it will continue, that there will be more of an acceptance of the doll community in that way, especially like with male collectors. Like I've known some who don't tell anybody
Right.
what they do. And, there's some that are on Instagram that don't let anyone know who they are because they're afraid someone they know will see it, but I feel like we're starting to transition out of that a little bit. And I'm hoping it'll continue because like everyone's into something.
Everyone is into something. And like, we've been fighting this battle our whole lives where it's like, well, some people collect stamps.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Coins.
Or like really old, yeah, like coins, disgusting, gross coins or like whatever. But it's like, I'm not going to knock on that. And I do feel, I say it all. I think the Barbie movie really helped.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which is great. It's a good lean into the world because right now I could go tell my neighbor I collect Barbies with no problem because I don't really care. But I also think that because of like we're adults, right? And I think like we forced ourselves to get to a point where it's like I don't really feel like I need to justify what I do. And it's like when someone says, "Well, why do you do this?" It's like I like it, like
it brings me joy.
It's fun. I don't know, why do you do anything that you do?
Yeah.
And I find that twisting the question around onto other people really makes them think because they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, I think it's weird that you collect car parts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I'm not going to judge you for it. Like, that's interesting. Why?
Yeah.
It's like because you like it, right?
Yeah.
Same deal. I think there's a lot of like a stereotype on doll collectors that they're just like traumatized from their childhood. And it's like we all have trauma, right? But like, I didn't go buy all these dolls because I'm like sad in my childhood. Sometimes, but it's always like unrelated. It's like, shit, I had a bad day at work. I'm going to go buy myself a Barbie. It has nothing to do with like my childhood trauma or anything.
Totally. Because I feel like when people ask, because it took me a long time to be out of the doll closet as an adult. And now I'm just kind of like, whatever, the older I get, the more I don't care. So if anybody kind of questions it, I just ask them, well, what brings you joy?
Yeah.
What makes you happy? This makes me happy. What makes you happy? And I feel they get a little bit of a sting because they're like, ooh, I was a bit of an asshole.
Oh, yeah. And it's like you deserved it.
Yeah, I was being mean. And, she's telling me this makes her happy. Now she's asking me what makes me happy, So I just kind of flip it that way. Well, this makes me happy. What makes you happy?
Totally. And I do find that a lot of the people that do have a judgment on that kind of thing, they either don't know, they're like, oh, I didn't really understand. They don't understand it. Or unfortunately, it's just like it's unhappy people that judge people that are happy. And I think a lot of people can't stand to see adults happy for some reason. And it's like, but I am. And like, I think with doll collectors, especially men doll collectors who are out and proud about it, it's like, I think a lot of people find that super intimidating where it's like, well, this guy knows exactly who he is. So I'm going to try and bring him down.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't really know who you're messing with.
That's right. We got a whole community on our backs.
These are very secure people.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't, and again, this doesn't happen very often, but like, cause I'm at the point where it's like, I just found out like I run a gymnastics program.
Oh, cool.
I just found out that all my employees know about Britney Spears custom dolls and all that shit. And I don't talk about it. And it's not because I'm not proud about it, but at work, I'm right. They need to respect me, right? And I'm like, all right, well, yep, here we are.
That's so cool, though.
It is, and like they're all young, and I feel great about it now. But I'm like, well, guys, now you know why I gotta go home.
Yeah,
you know.
I love that.
But again, I as someone who's very secure, like I guess you could say I was a little insecure about like
Right.
my employees finding out
Mm-hmm.
about it, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, I'm still their boss,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Know
they
your
better
rank.
they better be sending me some likes. Um, what are your thoughts? And we can keep this brief because I don't like to get too political on this show. I do feel like
Hmm.
I have made my stance on politics very clear where I'm at with that. And
Yeah.
obviously something as Barbie collectors we have to deal with. And it's happening little by little. I have to say at first I was like, I don't know like how this is all gonna work. Like, is this real? Whatever. But we have to talk about the tariffs and the cost
Mm,
of Barbie. And I I don't I feel strongly about it, but I also feel at the end of the day, like you were saying, I think a lot of people will just buy things to buy them. And maybe this, maybe if I can look at one positive thing about these tariffs, it's like maybe I'll be buying a lot less dolls.
hmm.
But it is quite frustrating. And I think as collectors, like it's going, because again, we're not all just buying stuff we don't want, and there is stuff that we are going to want, and the tariffs are going to affect that. And I think
Right.
Barbie is actually one of the biggest entities that will be affected by this because I talk about it a lot. Barbie's cheap. You know, you can
Yes.
go to Target right now and get a Barbie for $10, and
Yep.
I don't know that that's going to be the case for much longer. And when I talk about Barbie's quality and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I just always remind myself she's $10. It is what it is. But I don't know that I'd spend an extra dollar, $2, $3 on that.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to start impacting sales. So what are your thoughts on that?
I agree with everything you said. Because if I went into a store right now and there was a $10 doll for 15 or 20, I'm not buying it. Because like you said, quality is not there. Even for $10, the
Right.
quality is not really there either. But I think it will make people more discerning with their collections. I know I'm going to be that way for sure. Because we're already seeing dolls that were typically 35, now they're 45, now they're 55. But the quality hasn't gotten any better. She still has plastic accessories, but that's a different topic. But yeah, so I feel like with the tariffs, it sucks so bad because this is our thing. Barbie's our thing, collecting is our thing, and this is definitely going to impact it. But like you said, the one positive is making people be more discerning about their choices.
Hmm.
And I think it'll bring us back to the way it used to be with collecting, where you're more discerning, where do you love the doll
Do
versus,
you have to have this? Yeah.
oh, it's only $10. It's fine. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like the fashionistas, there's so many that I have that I haven't touched in years. And I'm just like, girl, you didn't need this many dolls, but the whirlwind of the pandemic. But Paris, I hate it. I hate it so much. Like politically, there's a lot of things I'd like to say, but yeah, at the end of the day, that's the only plus. And I don't know what's going to happen with Mattel because,
Me
like,
either.
like, I don't know what's going to happen there, but I feel like on the collecting side, I'm going to own less dolls. So,
I feel like that too. And it is right. Like I said, like, okay, I guess I'll buy a little bit less. But like, then I think that the cost will make up for that when I'm buying something I do want and it's a lot more expensive. And again,
yeah.
I don't really know what's happening with that. But it's just something I want to ask because like right now, toy sales are on top. Like more adults are buying
Hmm.
toys and dolls than
Yep.
kids, and it's like shit. This couldn't have come at a worse time for the toy industry, at least. I mean, we've seen
Hmm.
what's been going on at Mattel, which is
Yeah.
unfortunately like I don't know that they had any other options.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but they could have gone out. They could have gone about things better, I think.
I
But I don't
agree.
work there, so I don't know. I just feel like people are panicking about the tariffs and what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
I also feel like we're getting a lot of products right now because they're trying to get everything out as fast as they can, which
Well,
has
they
been
can.
annoying because
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
every week there's something new. And it's like, I can't,
And it's good.
it,
That's what's hard.
it is. And it is good stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to
I
do.
mean, they've got all this Bill Greening stuff still coming out, and like I feel like I buy his stuff the most.
Yeah.
So it broke my heart when they let him go. And it's just so odd that he's not there anymore, but yet they're still churning out. his stuff, and there will be more coming. And it's such an odd spot right now for Mattel and for collectors, I feel. It's just so strange.
Props to him though, because he's still going to all these events and it seems like he has
Yeah.
no hard feelings. I'm sure he does, but like he's doing
Yeah.
a really good job about staying professional about everything. But I also have said it on the show, like he'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
he's such a name, you know, like he
Absolutely.
was gonna go on to do amazing things. I feel mostly bad for the employees. It's like, well, this was their livelihood. They don't
Yes.
have dolls coming out for the next 2 years,
That's
like,
right.
you know, so we'll see. It's really interesting. What is your favorite doll of all time?
Oh, okay. Absolute favorite of all time is the number one Barbie
Wow, nobody
brunette.
has said that yet. Good
Are you
job.
serious?
Nobody has said that yet.
Oh, well, I brought them to
You
show
have
you.
some. Oh my, shut
Yes.
up. Okay.
So this is my number one. I don't know if there's a glare.
I see her. Oh, she's
She's a little
beautiful.
tan, and then I have a number two,
Wow.
and these are my favorites ever, 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 ever. I I feel like the first run is my favorite ever. That era, all of the dolls that came out from 59 to 62 wearing the striped bathing suit.
Of course.
I have every single doll except for a number two blonde.
Okay.
Um, so that's been like my focus of collecting is that era specifically. Those are my favorites of all
That's
time.
pricey. That is pricey.
It's been over a few years. It's been over years. Definitely that's my backup plan if things go sour. But my absolute favorite, I love the brunette more than the blonde just because of the contrast.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes with the outfit, you know, and she looks a little goth looking. She has that attitude.
Yeah.
And I don't know, she's just so different from any other Barbie that came after her. You know, like a lot of people that don't know Barbie don't know that she is a Barbie. And
Right.
they don't know she was the first, you know? And I think she's just so unique. I absolutely love her. But if I had to choose like a modern, it's this girl.
Oh my gosh, is that the Haunted Mansion doll?
It
My
is.
friend was just telling me about how this is like on his grail list of dolls,
Oh,
and I was like, I've never seen that
oh,
before.
Mistress of the Manor
Wow,
by
hold
Bill
on, I'm taking a
Greening.
picture of this.
Yeah, get her. Yeah, she is because I love the whole gothic aesthetic. I love all of it. So when I saw this, I'm like, that's the gal. So I would get rid of all my dolls if for this, like
That's
for sure.
amazing.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
her.
that. I have a number. I believe you probably would know better than me. I'm really, oh gosh. I have a number four
Oh, I
Barbie,
saw it. Yes.
but she smells like crayons, and people have told
Yeah.
me that it's number three Barbies that smell like crayons. But she smells like crayons. So I don't
Yeah.
know what if she's like a 3.5
Yeah, she
even
probably is.
because she smells strongly
Oh
and it's
yeah.
like that's you know the smell like duh.
Yep. Yep.
Um and I found her at a freaking flea market for
I
10 bucks.
couldn't believe I watched it. I
I
watched the
couldn't
video and I was
believe it
like, "Are you
either.
fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "Do you know what I have to spend on these damn dolls?" And you just got a $10.
I
Like that
and all
is
I
a
saw was her little
dream.
hand. Her little hand was
She's like,
sticking out of a
"Me, pick
trunk and I was like, "What?" And I was like,
me."
"Shut the front door." Like, "Oh my
Yeah,
God." So I
that is a
definitely
dream.
love that one so much. What's the most recent doll you bought?
Oh no, recent. See, I can't even choose it because it's like Mattel came out with so much that
Some may not have even arrived yet.
yeah, that I can't even remember which doll is actually the latest. So whatever ones that came out in the past few months, I have it. But there's just been
Amazing.
so many. I don't even. I also got are they called Defa Lucy?
Yeah, those are up and coming.
Yeah, I got those. Those are incredible. And the price point, wow, for the quality, incredible. And I did just get that Loungefly 1959 Barbie backpack.
Oh, cute.
I got that. That's the one that I remember the most because it just came like a few days ago. But I got that. I even started getting into the Monster High horror movie ones.
Hmm.
I've got those. So yeah, man, they're just pumping out a lot of stuff right now.
They got to because soon people won't be buying them.
I know.
Do you have like a designated area where all your dolls are?
I did. So we're planning on moving. So I started to pack up already, which is why, you know, they're in their little boxes. But yeah, like you have in an incredible room. I also had like a whole wall of just
Dolls.
Barbies and
Yeah.
dolls. And the whole room was just kind of like my collector room where it's like I have antiques, I have horror dolls, I have Barbies. It's just all the things I like in one space. So I'm taking it down right now, but
That can't
yeah,
be
I
easy. That's good. I
no.
dread the day if I ever move.
Oh,
Cause,
and they're so little. You got to pack up every single one of
and you
them.
have to
It's so
be careful
hard.
too. You like, it's
Yeah.
not like you can just be like, "Ooh,"
Yeah.
like you have to
Yep.
be careful because some of that shit, like you have a number one Barbies, like you
Hmm.
can't just put that in a box with everything
No.
else.
And
Like
they're staying with me on my body when we move, not just some random
she'll be
box.
riding on my lap.
Yeah,
Thanks.
they're in my purse.
Yeah. So, Tiffany, thank you so much for coming on the show. I had so much fun. Please tell everyone where they can find you on Instagram, wherever you're at.
Well, I'm an elder millennial, so I'm only on Instagram, and that's off the doll shelf. And I try to be active on there. I am there all the time. So if anybody messages, has any questions or anything, I'm there. And yeah, that's my only spot.
Amazing. Well, everyone, make sure you go check out Tiffany's stuff. And Tiffany, thank you again so much for being on the show.
Thank you. This was so fun. And I
Yay.
adore the podcast. I'm such a
Oh,
fan.
thank you. Oh, yay. Thank you, Tiffany, so much for coming on the show again. I was so happy I was able to find this episode. I was so upset when all that went down because I really thought they were gone forever, but they weren't. So, yay. Thank you so much. I had such a great time. I've got another episode coming for you guys next week. Chad Marvelous will be back on the show to educate me on all things Ever After High dolls. It's another fantastic episode. Tons more episodes coming for you guys for the rest of the year. I'm very excited about it. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, comment on all the things, especially over on YouTube at Iconic Dollcast. Please, if you're enjoying the show, leave me a 5-star review. It really helps, and I will talk with you guys next time.